Baal Shem Tov, the founder of the Hasidic movement, that anyone who reads the Megillah out of order fulfill the requirement. If you view the story of Purim as something that just happened in the past and doesn't have any modern day message and meaning for us, then you've missed the point, so to speak. And there's a message and a lesson we can learn. One of the reasons given for why this whole story unfolded is because the Jewish people had forgotten that our existence is essentially transcendent. It's not something that really makes sense. Mark Twain himself, when he spoke about the Jewish people, said that they've seen so many things, the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Romans, empires come and go, yet the Jewish people remain and continue to go to this very day. And when we forget that, then we enter the realm of the ordinary, where all kinds of horrible things can happen. But we understand that our salvation, our deliverance, our redemption comes through transcendent unity. Everything about Purim is about this understanding that when we connect to each other, when we have love for another Jew, for another person, something that defies logic, not because you know the person and you care about them or because they're going to do you a favor, but because you understand there's something that connects you and binds you, which doesn't even have to make any sense. And even if that person is incredibly different from you, what unites you is far more powerful than anything else. That's where our deliverance comes from, which is why the queen, when she had to go and see the king, Queen Esther went to see Achashverosh, see the king, she didn't say, let me go put on this beautiful, dress, and and Mordecai's going to wear a top hat and a suit, and whatever it took to look impressive. They were fasting, they put the sackcloth and ashes. They understood that, number one, their deliverance was something transcendent, and they said that everyone should pray with them, that it should be a communal experience. And everything about this holiday that we're going to celebrate for their four special mitzvot, to hear the reading of the Megillah, to give gifts of food to your friends, to give charity to the poor, to those who are needy, and to make a communal feast where you celebrate l'chaim and have a lot of fun. All of them really represent this idea of unity. You read the story of the Megillah, it shows how we're all together in the story, how the story of the Jewish people is, despite what happens, or because of what happens, we're always united, we're always together. When you give gifts of food to your friend, what are you doing? You're helping your friend out. You're building community. You're connecting to people that you know. Give food to the poor. You're making sure that those who are less privileged are also able to take part in the celebration, also able to have their needs met. In fact, there's actually one opinion that the reason why we give gifts of food is not just because you want to show your friends your fancy themed box that you put together and gave away, but because that's a way to make sure that everyone can get food in dignity. If those people are poor also aren't being given, here's just a check. You should give them a check as well. Besides that, also you can give them a nice prepared meal and they can be able to celebrate as well. And finally, you have a feast. A feast is not something you eat alone. If you eat and drink alone, it's a different experience. When you have a feast, it's with people together. So it's really about how we're all one, how we're all connected. And so therefore, my blessing each and every one of you is to find that oneness, that connection that we have, and be able to share it for Purim. We should have an incredibly merry day, a day that transcends logic, a day that doesn't make any sense,